Chesapeake, Ohio is one of the railroads now under the CSX banner, and will begin the show with scenes of some first-generation C&O units. A C&O E8A pulls a local through the Ohio countryside. Four GP9s in freight service. Two C&O F7As and an F7B. Rolling along aboard one of the Chesapeake, Ohio's passenger cars. We're now aboard a C&O GP9, and prior to getting underway, we spot Baldwin ASA 616 number 5534 slipping out of a yard. As we roll out, we pass a stationary 5534 and a slowly moving pair of New York Central Baldwin Shark-Nosed Diesels. Those units are B&O and C&O Baldwin AS-16s. F7s were plentiful on the C&O. Baltimore and Ohio F7s roll a freight under a coaling station. A dark, snowy day finds a pair of E7As powering an express train. An E8A and E7A on a local. Three more EMD F units are seen, followed by several Alco FAs which will soon entirely replace the steam engine. An E7A and E8B zip a short passenger train by. E8As pair up on a longer train. Used primarily in freight duty are EMD F3s. E7A's on a fast roller. Coming up, an E8A leads a very unusual rebuilt E6A modified with E8 side panels. Next, 5 different units on one train. A GP40 leads a GP30, GP38-2, GP38, and a GP9. Four F7s and an F3 in the Atlantic coastline's famous purple and silver colors. ACL purple and silver again, this time on E7s powering the Champion. Later on, ACL Diesels went to black with yellow stripes, and here an E6A and E8A crossed the Ashley River in South Carolina. Let's look at some more coastline E7s and E8s in the Charleston, South Carolina area. Now we'll see additional E-unit action in the Miami area. The Seaboard Air Line was a heavy user of Alco power, and here 2 FAs, an RS3, and 2 S2s move into the Hialeah yard. Watch carefully for the second E7 in this train. It's painted in the Orange Blossom Special color scheme. Another FA and RS3 paired on a short freight. E7As bring the Silver Meteor into Miami. Alco S2 switcher number 1425 passes an EMD E4 on a soon-to-leave Meteor. Seaboard was the only railroad to own E4s. Another S2 pulls another Meteor out of the Miami terminal. The E7A led Palmland swings east toward the station. Enjoy some more E4 and E7 power. An Alco RS3 heads south on the Homestead branch. Two EMD GP9s and an F3 pull a reefer train south along State Road 9 in the North Miami area. E7A number 3036 on a local at the Opelika station. An EMD GP9 leads Alco's FA and FB. Seaboard Coastline Alco C420 number 1229 leads GE U30Bs number 1706 and 1712. Georgia Railroad's EMD SW9 number 906 in switching duty. An EMD FP7 powers an express train on the Georgia Railroad. Georgia's GP7 number 530 teams with an F3A and another Jeep 7. Rolling across the Diamond or Atlanta and West Point, Georgia Railroad and Western of Alabama GP40s and a Georgia Railroad torpedo boat GP9. Western of Alabama GP7 number 530 slips by. An Atlanta and West Point FP7 heads up an express with two GP9s teaming along. An E8A and E7A power a passenger train on the Louisville and Nashville. An L&N Freight has two U25Bs and two GP35s in charge. This one is led by an SD35, a U28B, and a GP40. An Alco C420 lashes up with three EMD GP30s. Big General Electric units are teamed up on this freight. A U28C joins three U25Cs. A GP40 led fast freight speeds by. 1987 at Douglas, Georgia on former Atlantic Coast Line rails. Seaboard U-30C number 7229 and an SD-45 rumble northbound with a coal train. We'll again see the coal train, this time at Rebecca. Just north of the Georgia-Florida border near Tarver, B36-7, number 5918, heads up a northbound. Southbound out of Cordele, 3 SD-50s on another coal train. U-30Cs 7269 and 7261 and an SD-40-2 ease into the town of Ideal, where they'll wait for a couple of northbounds. An SD-40-2 and C-30-7 head north to get by the previously seen train at Ideal. Getting a clear track and signal, the Ideal head train continues south towards Montezuma. A low trestle across the small creek on the north side of Montezuma. 4 units consisting of a C-30-7, an SD-40-2, a U-18B, and a GP-40 pull a grain train. Of special note is the third unit, U-18B number 1911, painted in the new CSX colors. Same train continuing south of Montezuma. Crossing gates descend back at Ideal for a fast approaching southbound. B&O GP 38 3827 teams with Seaboard SD 40-2 8069, U30C 7226, and a freshly painted CSX SD 45-2. Once more at Ideal, a northbound triple SD 50 powered coal train gets out of the hole and underway. Still lettered for the Atlantic coastline, this girder bridge spans a southern branch line at the appropriately named Junction City. The coal train continues north as a southern train approaches from the east. We'll spot the coal train once more, this time at Woodland. Coming up will be a southbound with 5 units. First is a very common B36-7, but second is a most uncommon SD38-2, number 2454, one of only 5 left on the railroad. GP 16 1745, SD 40-2 8008, and GP 38-2 2527 follow. now on original Nashville, Chattanooga, and St. Louis rails, where B&O GP40-2 number 4300, Seaboard GP16 number 1794, and GP38-2 number 2607 slip across a busy street overpass in Marietta. Near Allatoona Lake, a southbound powered by Seaboard 7005, 3140, 8094, CSX 5360, and Seaboard 5915 slips by. These are, in order, a C30-7, a B23-7, an SD40-2, a U30B, and a B36-7. Southbound out of Cartersville is GP38-2 number 2677, U36B number 5753, B23-7 number 3111, and GP40 number 6730. Northbound heads into Calhoun, led by GP16s 1776, 1856, and 1794. Same train, this time at Tunnel Hill. Six B36-7s provide heavy power for a long stack and pig train approaching Chattanooga, Tennessee. Continuing northbound out of Chattanooga. Harper's Ferry, West Virginia, is certainly one of the most scenic spots on the Baltimore, Ohio. B&O GP40-2 number 4115 and GP40 number 4034 rumble through the tunnel on a westbound. Two GP38s team up on a local freight heading south on the Winchester branch. C&O GP40-2 number 4406, GP40-4097, and B&O GP38-4809 on another westbound towards Cumberland. Once more we spot the westbound, this time at Paw Paw along the Potomac River. B&O rails at Sandpatch, Pennsylvania. An eastbound Roars upgrade with B&O GP35 number 3547 and GP40-2 number 4113. Bringing up the rear are three GP9s and a GP30. Having finished their big push, the helpers return to their station. The Virginia and West Virginia state line is located right in the middle of Allegheny Tunnel on Chesapeake and Ohio rails, and we're first on the Virginia side as a westbound approaches with Seaboard SD40-2 number 8153, GP40-6745, and GP38-2 2641 on the point of a coal train. This time we're on the West Virginia side as two C&O SD50s roll another westbound. B&O GP40-2 number 4256, GP40 number 4030, and C&O GP40-2 number 4385 power still another westbound. Once again on the west side of the tunnel, and an eastbound struggles upgrade led by B&O GP40-2 4249, Seaboard SD40-2s 8104 and 8001, and Seaboard GP40 number 6732. Coming up are three helpers, C&O SD50 8630 and GP40-2 4385, and B&O GP40 4030. The helpers cut off on the fly at the tunnel portal and return back to assist another train. At Hinton, West Virginia, C&O SD50 number 8554 leads a freight westbound along the New River. Hawk's Nest on the New River Gorge. Eastbound Western Maryland GP40 number 4315 teams with B&O GP40 number 4050 and Atlanta and West Point GP40 number 5650. Lynchburg, Virginia finds C&O SD50 number 8643 and GP40-2 number 4176 powering a westbound past the Lynchburg Ironworks. Wildey, Kentucky on Louisville and Nashville rails, where we'll spot the northbound road railer with C&O GP40-2 number 4405 providing its power. A burro crane loads scrap at East Bernstadt while a southbound coal train approaches upgrade. On the head are Seaboard SD50s 8545, 8546, and 8531. And on the rear will be C&O SD40 7535 and Seaboard SD40-2 8201. A small spot on the map named Hazel Patch brings a northbound with 7 different diesels of 6 different roads. C&O GP39 3909, CSX GP40 6534, L&N GP38-2 2610, C&O U30B 5354, Western Maryland SD40 8397, Seaboard SD40-2 8239, and finally Seaboard SD45 8938. South of Hazel Patch, 3 B36-7s on another northbound. Three SD50s, Seaboard 8549, C&O 8553, and Seaboard 8533 power a northbound coal train. Here she comes again past the helper station at Livingston. One more time at Hazel Patch. Seaboard SD40-2's 8153, 8129, and 8128 with C30-7 7014 lead an upgrade southbound with the previously seen helpers on the end. The yard at Corbin shows a couple of rare units, Seaboard SD-35s 4544 and 4539. These were formerly SDP-35s prior to having their steam heat generators removed and are two of the last dozen or so in existence. CSX U-36B number 5725 comes up, soon to be joined by Seaboard GP-38 number 2164. An SD-50 and SD-45 powered northbound thunders into the tunnel at Morley, Tennessee. Below Morley, a southbound heads into another tunnel. A Seaboard SD-45-2 and two SD-40-2s power a northbound across a high steel trestle at Habersham. Seaboard U-30C 7236, L&N 7271, and B&O GP 403806 northbound at Ivydale. Southbound near Jacksboro. Continuing on through Lake City. A formation of Canadian honkers flies up the Clinch River while 8194 and train approach the bridge. The northbound coal train comes over the bridge led by Seaboard SD 40-2 8051, U30C number 7267, and B23-7 number 3110. Our final look at 8194 and team is at the Little Tennessee River crossing just north of Madisonville, Tennessee.